Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Saramonic BlinkMe. Wait a second. Now, we're going to take a look at the Saramonic BlinkMe. And these are wireless microphones that are going to step up your audio experience for all of your audio needs. Now, these are not just designed to improve content creators like me, the content that we're recording right now, but it's also designed to work in a variety of situations. If you are someone who would like to improve the audio on your Zoom meetings, these are going to work for you. If you'd like to be able to improve your TikToks, Instagrams, whatever content you're capturing on a smartphone, these are the ones for you. If you are more of a professional that would like to be able to use this for a DSLR and capture interviews, maybe even a podcast, these are for you. If you're looking to capture a podcast and you're looking to do it with a smartphone, these are for you too. A lot of flexibility. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the features, the capabilities, why you may want to consider these, and why these are so cool. So let's get right to it. Now the first thing that we'll talk about are the specs. These are 2.4 gigahertz wireless mics that have 8 gigabytes of storage. Now with that storage, you can expect that you're going to have the ability to record onto these specific mics, and that gives you a lot of flexibility. Matter of fact, you're going to be able to get 22 hours of storage at 48 kilohertz, 16-bit. That's a lot of hours. You'll be able to get 15 hours at 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. Now, the way you'll use this is that you can actually have the recording on the mic itself, and the mics are pretty small. Let me just show you one of them right here. This is what one of the mics would look like. You'll be able to store onto this device the recordings, but at the same time, the recording that's being captured on your capture device, again, be it a DSLR or a smartphone, is also going to have the recording. So this is a great way to have a backup. And as you see, I'm wearing one right now, and I have one in my hand. So this is going to work really well if you want to have like an interview style with 2 people. Now, in addition to having onboard recording, it does have noise reduction technology. And the cool thing about the noise reduction is you see this little yellow button here. All you have to do is tap it once. You have a very large display, a 1.3-inch display that is super colorful, very informative, that's going to tell you that noise reduction is enabled. It's going to tell you a lot of things about the actual transmitters themselves. Now, the transmitters, because they're large and they have this great display, have Panda glass, which is going to be very resistant to daily use. It's 360-degree viewable, so this is very viewable in various angles. And the receivers and the transmitter, the receiver, first of all, 24 hours worth of battery life, and then the actual transmitters, 9 hours. Now don't freak out, right? Because when you think about that time difference, you're probably wondering, wow, why doesn't this have more power? Well, first of all, the actual base itself, the actual base has the ability to power share and provide power. So you're able to get these up to 4 hours of power share per transmitter. Now, the cool thing also about this is that once you see the unit as a whole, you're going to be able to push one button, and that one button is going to turn on all of your solutions. So it's going to turn on both mics as well as the receiver. Now, this has magnetic mounts, lots of them. That's going to give you a lot of flexibility also is how you mount them. I actually have it mounted right now on my shirt, and I'll step back so I can bring that into frame. You can see it right here, and it is magnetically mounted. There's no clips, nothing that I have to worry about, and you have a variety of magnetic solutions that is going to give you a lot of flexibility of how you mount these. So let's take a look at what's included in the box so we can see why you'd want to consider these. And again, what excites me the most about this is the fact that these can work in so many different, I would say, work situations. Not just for content creation, but for Zoom calls, for any situation where you're looking to step up your audio and you'd like to have noise reduction technology too. Now, I received the BlinkMe in this great package. Fantastic package, super durable, and I want to show you everything that was included. Now, included, you're going to find these, again, wind mic covers, right? And they attach really easily. You're going to see how that's going to work right there in a second. You have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. You have a, I would say, a smartphone mount, right, that you could use for a tripod. And it has here cold shoe mount for the actual BlinkMe that you'll see in a second. A TRS cable, right, on both sides. So this is going to be for your camera. And then it did come with a couple accessories. One of the accessories I have connected right now. You have a lightning to, again, TRSS connector that allows you to connect this to a smartphone. So that's like super duper cool. And then you also have one that's USB-C. So I have that connected right now. I'm actually capturing all of this audio going into a smartphone because I wanted to test it out that way. You basically have this little travel pouch for all these accessories. And then what you have here are the actual mic, right? And the receiver. And I'll just highlight this. We'll just put this right here for a second. Very, very compact and magnetic. So you'll notice that it has right here some contact points. These contact points connect with the contact points in the back, and this will charge it. And at the same time, once you turn it on, it's what helps it actuate all of the, I would say, the devices at the same time. So by powering up this guy, you basically power up the receiver, and then you have the transmitters as well. Now, before taking a look at the receiver itself, I wanted to highlight the magnetic mounts. They're magic mounts for me. Notice that we have each one of these is going to be a magnetic mount that you'll be able to use to connect to a shirt, a jacket, your mic. So it just attaches like this. So you're able to put this underneath the shirt or the actual suit, whatever apparel you may have, and then you're able to connect this just like that, and it's super duper sturdy. Now, you have several options. So we have 3 of them here that we can work with, and I'll put them over to the side because they're super magnetic. And then what we have is this clip. So if you'd like to use a clip, you could use a clip. So this you can attach to a suit, a jacket, maybe even a backpack if that's what you'd like to do. And then this connects to this like this, right? And then you have this mounting solution. It's very, I would say, magnetic. You can say this is not going to come off. So this is really nice. And it's even, if you were to tap this by mistake, look at this, I'm hitting it, and I'm hitting it pretty hard, my finger's hurting. It doesn't even shift. That's how well these magnets lock into place. Now, in addition to having a couple of these, right, one for each mic, I'll put that over the side, you have your cold shoe mount for the actual main platform itself, right? So this is what you would put on your camera or on your DSLR, I would say cold shoe, to be able to connect your receiver. Now, the actual transmitter here, as you can see here, we have a couple buttons coming on here. You basically have your power button. This is a special function button. And as you press each one of these, you're going to either be able to turn on the mute function, turn them on or off. For example, if you tap this button once, you're going to be able to turn on the noise reduction function, and you'll be able to see this on this display. Over here, you have the actual mic. And what you could do is, you can see this is the actual windsock that you can put on here, right? Or the dead cat, some people call it. Put this on top, and now this is going to work really well. You'll see that when I do scooter reviews, I am actually riding outside, and as I'm riding outside, I'm using one of these to really cover up all the wind that's going on and still have very crispy audio. So this is something that is really nice to use. You could, if you wanted to, even use this indoor, even though there's not a lot of wind. So that's going to be something that you can choose to do. Some people like using this because it does help somewhat with if you are a very breathy person, right? You could use this, or to just kind of lower a little bit some of the audio that's coming in that's being captured. Despite the fact that you have a lot of configuration options that you can work with. But as you can see it right here, this is what it would look like with this on. And again, it's fully magnetic. Now, one thing I'll highlight is that as you look at this, there isn't really a USB-C cable here, right, anywhere, or connector. So pretty much if you want to be able to download anything from this, you have to dock it into the receiver. There's also no way to charge this unless it's connected to the actual receiver as well. So that's one thing to be mindful of. Now, as we look at the receiver here, there's a couple things going on. You'll notice there's a faint LED here on. On each side, you can basically have one of these connected on each side. I'm not going to connect it to it because I don't want it to power up yet. On this side, you have the other one. And then over here, you have multiple connections. You can see I have one cable that's right now capturing the audio that's going on right now, a headphone monitor, USB-C for charging, upgrading, doing that stuff. And by the way, there is an app. There's an Android and there is a iOS app that's available. I am not using the app at this time. Again, this is a first look, and I just want to wait until the app is a little bit more mature so that we can actually go through it. On this side now, you do have, again, your plus and minus for volume increasing, and you have your power button. Now, if I tap this screen here, you'll notice that, and I'll flip this over, you will basically see everything that is going on here when it comes to the display. You can see the actual, again, volume levels, and you can see I can actually speak a little bit louder to see if I can peak it. And then you could also then see if you have more than one mic enabled and the battery level as well. Now, this does have a menu. If I swipe down, you can choose if you want to have mono mode recording. You can change your RX gain, your TX gain, your display timeout value. You do have also some settings. You can pair the devices. You can adjust the brightness. You can change the language. You can reset. You can look at the version for the firmware version, cert info, and that kind of stuff. So a lot of options that you can actually take action from this screen. All right, now let's look at the display itself, and I'm just going to bring it up really close up here so that you guys could get a closer shot at it. And I just want to show you the readability. So I'm going to turn it at an angle so you can see how legible this is. This thing, from an angle perspective, it is super duper cool. Look at that, how easy it is to read. Now it does have a timeout value that kicks in, but it's super easy to read. You do have some functions here, and you can see that you can set your dB. I have it on mute right now. If you swipe up, you have onboard recording, you have noise reduction, you have TX gain, you have brightness as well, and I'll put this in an angle right here so we can see that. So we can see what that looks like right there. You have your display, which you can set as well, and then you basically have some settings. If we go into the settings area, there's a lot that you can do: pairing, language, date and time, reset version, and then obviously some information right there. And that's pretty much it. So I like the way you can just swipe through this just like this to see everything that's going on the screen. Now we're going to test out the noise reduction technology that we have on the BlinkMe. So first of all, let's take a look at the decibel readings. You're looking at around 55 to 60 decibels of noise. So we're trying to simulate being in a noisy environment on the street, in the coffee shop. And what we're going to do is we're going to stay quiet, record the floor so you can pretty much get a sense of what the noise sounds like. And then we're going to switch to the BlinkMe with noise reduction on. Let's go ahead and switch. Now we're going to turn on the noise reduction. Now we're going to test the BlinkMe with noise reduction on. I literally have the mic just a few inches. Let me step up a little bit so you can see that. Just right there. So we're going to continue to talk and see how much of this audio is being canceled through the noise reduction setting that you have in the BlinkMe. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now there are several options on how you can use the BlinkMe, as you can see. First of all, you can have it connected to your smartphone via any of the cables like you saw. You can actually have it connected to your DSLR and mount it in a variety of angles. That's going to give you a lot of flexibility. You can also then connect it to nothing at all, and that's where this even becomes more flexible. By simply removing the actual base, turning it on. As soon as you turn it on, all you have to do is press record. Matter of fact, right now, I'm recording this entire segment directly to the onboard memory. This is not involved. No physical camera, phone, or DSLR is involved. Now that's flexibility. Now for those of you who are curious on how the mic setup would work on a DSLR, here I have my Canon M50, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mounting solution that you see right here, and it's just a cold shoe mount, right? So I'm just going to put it right on top, make sure that I have enough space to be able to support it locking into position right here, and you can see how it's here now. You notice that there is this little opening here. Well, what that little opening is going to do is it's going to align with this area right here. So you can see how that looks right there, these little contact points. And then what we'll do is just place it right on top. You just place it on top and it magnetically locks. Now the cool thing about this is that you can rotate. Right now, because I'm recording this to another source, what I can do is you can see that the actual display is right here, but I can rotate this around so that it's facing backwards. I can rotate this around so it's facing forward. So there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to how you basically can see the display. If I'm recording and I want to see it, see if the audio is picking up well and I want to hear things, I can go ahead and have it facing my direction. And all it really takes for me to do that is to take it out just like this, rotate it back into place, and then it's done. Now, as you can see, I can see what is being recorded. But let's say I'm doing a solo shoot, right? And I am basically recording myself. And it's important that I can see what's being, if the audio is taking place. Well, what I could do is I can put it this way, and now all of a sudden I can see what's going on. So this gives me a lot of flexibility. And then keep in mind, let's say sometimes you may have a camera as a B-roll camera. Take it out, rotate it to the other direction, and now it's able to pick up from that direction, from the side. So I can see it now from this side or the other side. Just there's a lot of flexibility on how you can position this. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.